The Friday Sports Riot on sportstownchicago.com.
And this is the Friday Sports Riot on sportstownchicago.com. I'm Ryan Hoppy.
And I'm Ryan Stuprich.
Give us a call at 630-403-5200. That's 630-403-5200. And Ryan, who do we have on the phone line?
From 670 The Score on the Illinois Center for Broadcasting Hotline, we have Mark Grote. Hey, Mark.
What's going on, guys? How are we doing today?
We are doing good. So how has everything been at 670 since we last had you on the show?
Everything is cleaned up, so to speak, at the Score. Everything is fresh again, smelling good.
Yeah.
People are happy. The broadcasting is going well. It's a great place to be, the Score.
What was that like when that went down? Was it just a crazy environment at 670 with the whole press from Deadspin?
I have to kind of defend my guy.
Yeah.
I think you guys are talking about the Les Grobstein story.
Right.
And he and I work very early. I do the 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. shift with Molly and Hanley on the Score.
Yeah.
And when I go in there in the morning, I usually get there a little bit early. Grobber and I, that's what we call him, the Grobber. We do a little bit of crosstalk, around 4:45 in the morning. And on that day, it was just as normal as ever. Les and I did our little crosstalk thing. After the show was over, Grobber came in, poked his head in my studio, said something to me, and left. And I think the story had him slipping out of there backstage and not saying anything to anybody. But I could definitely, I have his back, so to speak. That he definitely did not slip out of there. Now, whether or not this really happened, I have no idea. I actually did not go in the studio because I didn't want to smell whatever was or was not in there. Andy Robert, he said that it didn't happen, so I have to believe my guy. I have to believe in Les Grobstein, and I do.
Right. Let's talk about the Cubs. They just lost a couple minutes ago, 7-2 to the Phillies for the home opener. But a guy that's been on a hot streak is Emilio Bonifacio, at least against the Pirates he was. How do you like his hot start to the season so far?
You know what? There's always that one guy. There's always that guy that has the hot start to the season that doesn't end up being indicative of what his career really is or what will be. So, Emilio Bonifacio, he's brought in to maybe be a starter, maybe not be a starter, be a utility guy. So, it's great. I mean, I love it. I always love that guy that has the fast start to the season. I on Tuppy Rhodes years ago when he hit the 3 home runs, 3 or 4, I forget, in the leadoff for the Cubs. But it's great. It's a nice story to start the season. Obviously, that's not going to keep him. I think he might have been. Look, he had a hit in his last at bat. I think he was held hitless today. So it all came crashing down today for Emilio Bonifacio.
And now, what is your take, Mark? As the Cubs did not get swept, but they did not win the series and just squeaked out one win. Is this going to be the same theme all year round for the 2014 Cubs?
Yeah, because they didn't really do anything in the offseason that was different from last year's Cubs team that lost 96 games. So it's pretty predictable that they're going to have some decent. The Jason Hamill performance was encouraging, and really, whenever you see encouraging performances or play from anybody, you can even put this down for Bonifacio, it means that their trade value is going up, and they'll be flipped before the trade deadline, and because that's just the way the Cubs operate. Yeah, there's no reason that the Cubs will be, no logical reason as to why the Cubs will be better this year than they were last, but they didn't try to get better.
Now let's move on to the South side, as the Sox currently are losing to the Royals, but they did take 2 out of 3 of the Twins. How improved do you think the Sox will be this year? Do you think we'll see a vast improvement from 99 losses, or do you think it'll be a small improvement?
I think it'll be small to medium, to be honest. I think they made some changes for sure. We don't know yet if they're improvements. So I think that people have sometimes mix those two things up, that you're mistaking productivity with actual activity. Rick Hahn did what he had to do. It's a no-brainer. He had to change some things, and he did. The one change that I'm enjoying watching so far is Jose Abreu and his ability to hit the ball. I think it was really important for him to have a fast start. Now, I have no idea if he's going to keep it up. He could still flop. Who knows? But if he had come out of the gates like 0 for 10, 0 for 11, that could have been a real confidence killer and could have had people on everybody's back. So the fact that he started out well is good. But at this point, yeah, it's too early to tell. And if you ask me to predict right now, I'd say small to medium improvement this year.
And, of course, Alejandro De Aza hit 3 home runs in that series against the Twins, 2 on opening day. Do you think that he could eventually be the starter every day in left field, or do you think him and Dayan Viciedo will be switching off?
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to continue to switch off platoon and mix and match and all that kind of stuff because, again, it's just another case, too. We all know that Alejandro De Aza, not exactly a home run hitter. The 2 home runs he had in the game the other day was the first time the guy had multiple home runs in a game in his career. He knows that he's kind of in the spotlight because the Sox came close to getting rid of him in this offseason. And if they see that there's a team that has interest in him this year, they will definitely trade him. So no, I don't see him keeping up that sort of tear just based on his statistics in the past. He's not a great outfielder either. So yeah, I expect him to maybe be moved if there's interest.
And what do you like from the first series of the year against the Twins when it comes to Adam Eaton's play?
Oh, yeah. There's another guy that was good. I was glad to see that he got off to a fast start. There's a base hit up the middle in his first at-bat with the Sox. And he's one of these guys, too, that's a very likable dude in the clubhouse. Doesn't look like a baseball player. The guy's tiny. But it's good to have sort of what appears to be a legitimate leadoff hitter for the Sox and a pretty good outfield. They're unproven once again, but a good start, likable player. You know, Sox like those kind of grinded out guys, and that's exactly what he is.
Now let's move on to some Final Four talk. Of course, we got 2 really big games tomorrow night as Wisconsin plays Kentucky and Florida will play UConn. Who do you see coming out on top in those games?
Well, hold on a second. I'm going to ask you guys, because one of you two Ryans, I don't remember which one it was picking Wisconsin, and I pretty much poo-pooed your idea. So I'm just going to, you know what? I'm sticking with your guys' college basketball. I don't know a darn thing.
Yeah, because I think it's going to be Florida and Wisconsin in the championship, and that's actually what I picked in my bracket.
Okay, I'm going Florida and Wisconsin then in the championship.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Actually, it is. I'm intrigued by it though. By Kentucky and Florida, of course, the number 1 overall seed, and UConn, of course. But Kentucky, people keep telling, yeah, it's a huge surprise, and look at Kentucky, they made it to the Final Four. It's freaking Kentucky. You know what I mean? It's like it's still Kentucky, and to have underestimated them and look at them as any kind of a Cinderella, I think it's kind of ridiculous. UConn maybe a little bit more. I don't think anybody saw that coming. But Kentucky being there doesn't surprise me. But yeah, whatever you guys say, I'm going to go with.
Okay. Now, do you think that Florida's coach could be ranked among the all-time greats, like after it's all said and done? Because he won those back-to-back championships with Florida with Joakim Noah and everybody. Do you think that if he wins a championship this year that he would be highly touted as a really good coach?
Yeah, it's funny. You don't usually think of Billy Donovan in terms of like greatest college coaches of all time, but when you talk about the 2 titles and the fact that every year that team seems to come on strong at the right time, I suppose when you start thinking about, he's not in the group with a Krzyzewski, Rick Pitino, all these guys. I don't know that you put them in there. I don't think that name sort of fits Billy Donovan with those guys, but he's definitely a guy that you start to have to think about as one of the greats. The problem is with Florida, they're just so dominated by football, and you just don't think of basketball still. Basketball does not pop to your mind when you think about the University of Florida, but maybe it should start to.
And now, Mark, since it is the end of the week, what do you have planned for this weekend? Do you have any fun plans coming up?
Guys, I'm going to Indianapolis.
You are?
Cool.
For what?
But I'm not going to the Final Four.
Oh.
I'm actually going to see some college friends this
cool.
weekend. So that's the plan. Yeah, I usually do a show on Saturday, but we're off, so I'm taking advantage of it and do a little bit of road tripping.
Do you know the next time you'll be on Sports Talk Live, or does that schedule just come out as it goes?
As a matter of fact, yeah, we'll be on Sports Talk Live on Comcast Sportsnet on Tuesday night, and I will be on there. I was scheduled to be on with a couple of my coworkers, Mike Mulligan and Brian Hanley.
Nice.
Hanley.
Oh wow!
So they're doing like a radio week thing this week where they put all the radio teams on the TV and we ugly it up for everybody. So yeah, that's the plan. So Tuesday 5:30, I believe. Sometimes it's 5, but I think it's 5:30.
And now, when is the next time that people can hear you on the air, and where can you be found online?
Well, I will be broadcasting on Monday morning with Molly and Hanley. Like I said, no show this weekend, unfortunately, so we were sparing the masses of that. But so yeah, I'll be on Monday morning with the guys as usual from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. And if you are crazy enough to catch Robert and I about 4:40 in the morning too, it's always entertaining. Let me tell you. Online, yes, you can tweet me at Mark Grote Sports, Grote Grote. So that's what's cooking, boys.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun, Mark, and thanks for coming on the show, and we can't wait to talk to you about some more sports in the near future.
All right, guys, I appreciate you having me on, and have a great weekend.
Thanks.
You too, Mark. Talk to you soon.
Later, boys.
And that was Mark Grote of 670 The Scores. He came on the Friday Sports Riot on the Illinois Center for Broadcasting hotline on sportstownchicago.com.
That's what she said.
We are going to come back.
Well, we'll come back, wrap it up, and
We'll come back, close up shop, wrap everything up.
The Friday Sports Riot on sportstownchicago.com. Now it's time for Tidbits and Stats with Leo, only on the Friday Sports Riot. That's it. The Hoppy and Super Rich Show is now over.